What's going on, people? It's your boy Travis, Horror Movies Uncut, Submissions and Slashers. Welcome to episode number 61, people. We are here on a lovely Sunday, May the 19th. It's going on about 6 o'clock in the evening, and I felt since it's been a very, very long week of movies and a lot of reviews that I've been going through, might as well drop out a nice little episode for you guys, give you guys an update on everything I've been watching this week. And believe me, it's been a lot of stuff. So we're going to kick in, talk about what's on today's episode. But first and foremost, we got to handle that business. You know where to find us at HMUNCUT. That's Horror Movies Uncut social media. You can find that TikTok, Instagram, also X, formerly known as Twitter, Facebook. We are all over the place, folks. Of course, the YouTube and Spotify is where you're going to hear the Submissions and Slashers podcast. Find us on there at HMUNCUT.com is the website for Horror Movies Uncut, and that is the home of the illustrious family. People, we got a lot of stuff coming up as we are starting to get ourselves closer and closer to June. But like I said, episode number 61 today is going to be filled with reviews. First and foremost, though, what we need to do on today's show is get into some updates on Longlegs. If you had a chance to sneak out into the theaters this weekend, and maybe you got the chance to see The Strangers Chapter 1, which we're going to talk about a little later in the show, you would have got about a nice little 3-minute, you know what I mean, trailer for Longlegs. Very extended. The trailer that they're going to be debuting this week is what you got a chance to see. No one knew, but guess what? That's what makes going to the movies so fantastic. All right. So we're going to talk about that, give some initial reactions and thoughts on that trailer. I don't have it to show you because it was something that was shown in theaters, and I am not going to be in the theater with my phone recording it. Sorry, I only do that at actual film screenings. I'm not editing that out. Also on the show, we will be giving movie reviews for Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, The Strangers Chapter 1, I Saw the TV Glow, Night Watch, Demons Are Forever. Then we got a nice little indie film shout out from Below the Grave. We're going to be previewing next week's big action film that everyone needs to see. Know what the hell is streaming this week. We're going to go ahead and close it out right after that. So this is a review heavy episode, but I promise to keep these reviews within 2.5 to 3 minutes, giving you exactly what you need to know, everything involving the independent horror, action, and more. Once again, folks, like, comment, subscribe if you're watching this on YouTube. Don't hesitate to hit that follow button if you're listening on Spotify. At HMUNCUT is where we are on all the social media outlets. Make sure you find us on there. We're going to pop right back in, jump into our initial reactions and thoughts of that little trailer for Longlegs that we saw over the weekend. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. All right, people, welcome back. Submissions and Slashers, episode number 61. The film award for most cryptic of 2024 so far has got to go to Oz Perkins' Longlegs. It's going to be starring Nicolas Cage, Makia Monroe, Alicia Witt, Blair Underwood. We have been getting glimpses, little teasers, strange portions of the film sent to us since its inception way back in January. We are now getting to the part where the film will be released in July. So, of course, you're going to start getting a little bit deeper, a little bit more into what's going on in the trailers, the characters, and we're starting to really kind of get an idea. Last week on the website, we dropped a new poster that showed Monroe in her role as the police officer, Lee Harker. Got a connection with this family, possibly that she's part of the family from what it seems. There's definitely a relationship between her and Nicolas Cage, as it seems like his character is talking to her the entire time, almost blaming her for the events that happened to the rest of the family and said none. But the crazy thing is, once you start to watch some of the trailer, it actually starts to confuse even some of the stuff we received initially. Look, if you are at a theater right now and you're trying to think of a movie to go see The Strangers Chapter 1. Maybe because of some of the stuff I'm going to mention later, but for sure, because you'll get a chance to see the full trailer release for Longlegs, and it's worth it. Look, it's a serial killer. It's definitely some satanic stuff, or their rendition of satanic stuff going on. I don't know. I kind of want them to stop showing things because it might start to lead a little bit too much into the overall, it just is going to spoil the film too much. But I do enjoy seeing more of the characters. I do enjoy seeing a little bit more pieced together portion. So I'm happy for that. And I forgot to start the stupid timer again. I keep forgetting to start the timer on these portions. But look, I think everybody wants to see this film. There's still a lot of buzz around it. I don't see that dying down anytime soon. Hopefully it's not a disappointment. Not exactly sure where Longlegs is going to get its premiere, but I'm going to call it right here. Don't be surprised if we see it at Fantastic Fest. Their waves of film should be coming in pretty soon. No, that's wrong. I'm completely wrong on that. It would have to be before Fantastic Fest. So possibly, did they announce it? I don't know. I'll have to look and see. It might just be coming straight to theaters. I would think it would hit a festival first, but I think there's more Comic-Con stuff going on. Big shout out to everybody down at Texas Frightmare Weekend. I know that was just going on this past weekend. Looks like it was a good time down there. But Longlegs, yeah, I know a lot of people are going to go see The Strangers. I know a lot of horror film fans are going to go see the new Strangers Chapter 1. We'll talk about that here shortly. I liked what I saw from the Longlegs new trailer. I don't want to see anything else. I want them to stop right there. I'm going to stop right there. Come back with my review for Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Don't you go anywhere. Submissions and Slashers. We'll be back. All right, people, welcome back. Submissions and Slashers, episode number 61. See, look, boom, got the timer started on this one. Oh, man, but I got the wrong timer started on this. So bad. Okay. Planet of the Apes is something that is special to me because I remember watching the film with my grandfather and my mom and my grandmother when I was a kid. So it's always going to have a special place to me. When I got older and started watching some of the older films and started digging a little bit more into kind of the urban lores behind Planet of the Apes, of course, I was excited that the franchise has lived into my adulthood. And I'll be honest with you, the route that it's taken with the creation of Caesar's character and kind of like the evolution of the man-made injection to kind of cure Alzheimer's ends up allowing the apes to be the superior species. Even the sequels that had Woody Harrelson, and I actually went back and watched all of these as we were leading up to my UFC athlete Joaquin's fight, just in preparation to remind yourself what it feels like to have everyone against you and to think, when everyone thinks you're down and you're out for the count. And, it's a great franchise. I'll put it right up there with what they have been doing with the King Kong Godzilla Um, I'm not super over the top with the Jurassic Park franchise, but I enjoyed the films, and that's the thing. I was just hoping that this new turn into the Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes was going to be something that was going to be involving them paying homage to the franchise, and that's exactly what they did. I thought the kids were great, Owen and Freya as the two main characters, Noah and Nova. It's hard to deny Peter Macon and Kevin Durant's characters, Proximus and Rocker, were fantastic. At Horror Movies Uncut, it is a film that we would definitely give like a 4 out of 5, primarily because it just was good from start to finish. And I will be honest with you, I was super, super annoyed. And you're supposed to be annoyed by the human character. So it just hit so many levels. It's beautifully done. The fact that it's more involving the apes than anything else is appropriate. And I can't wait to see where they go with the franchise from here, man. So for sure, 4 out of 5 horror movies uncut. All right. So that is our review for Kingdom of the Apes. We're going to hop out. We're going to come back. We're going to talk about that new Strangers Chapter 1. Like I said, real quick, giving you guys the details on that. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Submissions and Slashers, episode number 61. So I'm not going to lie, I really wanted this new kind of reintroduction of the Strangers to feel a little bit better than what I just saw at the theaters a couple hours ago, but I don't. Unfortunately, I have to agree with a lot of the sentiment that's out there that it just kind of feels like this is an unnecessary sequel, or I'm sorry, unnecessary retelling of the franchise. And it really begs to why this is being done. Like, what's the appeal? Now, similar to previous ones, I will always be a fan of the leading ladies that you guys always cast for these films. And I enjoy the fact that they stay true with the Scarecrow character, the baby doll porcelain character, and like the pinup girl character. I appreciate that. And it does seem like as the films go on, they become more violent. They become a little bit smarter and sneakier. And these are the things that will always drive people to a horror film. But when it's the same thing over and over again, we start asking ourselves, what are we getting out of this? Where are we going with this? We do know that this is chapter 1 and there are 2 more films coming in this. We do know that Rennie Harlan has been putting in work, and there's certain moments of the film that looks great. And like I said, I'm a big fan of Madeline, and um the brutality and the violence that you see from the mass figures is everything you expect from a Strangers film. But do we need this movie? Do we need this retelling of the franchise? And for some, they even say, why do this retelling of a classic quote unquote franchise? I'm here to question if it's actually really a classic franchise. I don't even think the original Strangers has been out long enough for it to be really deemed a classic. You know, there's still so many people that could watch that could also watch Them, the movie that it was based off of. If we want to keep going down this route of, hey, this is based off of a true story and everywhere you are, somebody's being killed somewhere. Yeah, man, we know. We watched Cops growing up. But even on the show Cops, we saw different jurisdictions, different types of meth heads, different, to the point where even a show like Reno 911 made fun of cops. I'm almost wanting someone to make fun of the Strangers and call it like The Family, because that probably be more exciting than what we're getting out of this franchise. 2 out of 5 is what you guys get. And I don't even really want to give you this because I don't know why we are still doing this franchise. Will I see chapter 2? Of course. Will I see chapter 3? Of course. Will I be surprised if I like both of them? Probably won't. Will I be surprised if I don't like them and still feel like they're pointless? Yes. Unless you really get to the point of showing where these characters are coming from, we're just kind of regurgitating the same thing over and over again. Okay, let's get to it. We got a couple more reviews to do. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with a review for the next film. And what is that next film? I was all excited to tell you guys what it was and completely forgot about it. I saw the TV Glove. Yes. I'll be right back. Okay. Submissions and Slashers, episode number 61. Next up on the list, I saw the TV Glow. Real talk here. Similar to the film Get Out, I think this movie's gonna hit people so much more than it will me. Because in all honesty, these are chapters of my life, man. Like I was a weird black kid that watched anime, horror movies, old school late night films, and late night TV shows on Nickelodeon. Are You Afraid of the Dark Things and stuff like that? And I hung out with like the theater art white girls that went to my school, and that's who I was attracted to and still am attracted to and all that stuff. But you know, did it I see how it can be used as a way of like questioning some gender things and questioning, you know, some mental health things. But in all honesty, it is just, you know, hey man, we used to watch weird shit in the 90s, and it's possible that it impacted our lives more than we give it credit for. I think that's what I got from I saw the TV Glow. Um, the music's a little too much. While the songs aren't bad, I just think that their presence is a little bit too overtaking on certain parts. Donnie Darko is a better film than this. And that's no disrespect to Jane Schonbrun. It's just that's Shannon Brun. That's probably a bigger disrespect, killing her name. Um, I really like Bridget Ludley Payne. I love her, man. She's like one of my favorites out. Justice Smith, this is the type of movie he excels in. The little homie Ian Foreman, I love seeing him. I don't really think that that's a direct, like this would be him as a little, I think there's some little light-skinned kids you guys could have probably found, but I get it. Ian's great. I would put him in anything also. Um, I'll be curious to what like it this film is kind of it's weird because the film looks like it's targeted to the generation like the like my son's generation, like high school kids and stuff that are out right now, but the tropes, the things, like the show, what these kids are going through. I mean, this is my childhood, you know. This is the MTV and MTV2, ESPN, ESPN2. This is the two. You know, this is what we grew up in with the 90s and stuff like that, having Nickelodeon, Nick Jr., all that stuff. Um, and it was weird, man. We were wearing weird clothes. We had weird haircuts. You know, some of us still have messed up hairlinings and stuff from things we did back then. Um, but it's hard for this to be a horror film. It's hard for this to be, I think, something that's going to really be as memorable as they're making it out to be. We gave it a 2 out of 5 here at Horror Movies Uncut. Didn't really enjoy it too much. Doesn't mean we don't want to see anything else from anyone included in this, but just wasn't our cup of tea, man. So, but we I can see some people enjoying it. but I can see a lot of people walking out of the theater just like not for them, not happy, and not even really understanding what they watched, you know? So, yeah, we got one more review to do, and that is for the sequel to the 1994 Danish horror film Night Watch. This is Night Watch Demons Are Forever. We'll be talking about that right when we come back. Don't go anywhere. Don't forget to follow us at HMUNCUT. Like, comment, and subscribe. Your boy just went through 15 minutes of reviews. We'll be right back for that last one. All right, people, we got one more. Um, Mr. Oborndow, the return to a series or really just one film, but a film that was so impactful that it kicked off an American remake just a few years later, and that's Night Watch. Um, in this new film, which is like a direct sequel to that original film from 1994, we get the daughter of the original character Martin and um Nikolev. Like there's all the people from the original films back. The and it's some, of course, time in the future because the daughter's like in her late teens, early 20s. She decides to take a job at the same institute place that her husband, I mean, I'm sorry, that her father worked, and that her father and mother almost experienced death at the hands of Officer or Detective Warmer. It seems to be a copycat killer out and about, and they don't hesitate right off the bat. They show you killer, they show you the connection to the they show you the victim, and then it doesn't take long for you to find out that this is a connection to Martin and Emma, his daughter. um but it, down the line they are eventually connected to this copycat killer. But Emma has been dealing with the fact that after she lost her mom, her father has been pretty much down a downward spiral the whole entire time. She blames it on Warmer. Her thoughts are that this guy, even whatever he did to her parents was so terrifying that it traumatized them to cause the mom to kill herself, the dad never to recover. I need to find a way to like get my father back on track. So that kind of becomes Emma's plight. Once she's inside of the night of the clinic, she starts digging and investigating, and of course, a lot of the same things that happened to her father when he was working night watch start to come into play. And there's a lot of great homage portions of her finding his old tape player and listening to music like he was always doing. We get the ghastly supernatural figures starting to show up in the morgue of the area where she's located, and it just really says, hey, this is us giving love to this film that was just so important to our people back in the 90s. And it did such a great job of like putting us on the map in regards to horror films and showing what we were able to do. And the original Night Watch is great. It's probably one of the first films I would consider a slow burning film that I ever watched, and it came out in 1994. And I think I remember seeing it probably when I was around 17. And I do remember seeing the original one before I saw the one that had Ewan McGregor in there. Um, Kind of similar to what I was talking about with The Strangers earlier. I don't really know if this is something that was necessary. It kind of just became a bratty, like, look at what you did to my dad. You're going to go down. The inclusion of the original character of Warmer and everything that they were doing to continue on this story that this evil still presents itself and it's still something to be worried about. Wow. Yeah, it's nostalgic and it's great, man. It's probably should have been done about 15, 20 years ago. You know what I mean? Like 2004, that probably would hit. Right now, it's 2024. Hard to say anyone really cares outside of you guys, and you really didn't make a film that really gave enough legs for us to really be invested in what's next with this franchise, if there's anything. But if you are a fan of the first, for sure, watch this night watch. I would love to hear your thoughts, comment, let me know. I watched the first one. I'm actually gonna rewatch the remake. I thought I was gonna get a chance to watch the remake before I watched this one on Friday, but didn't get a chance to. Had a busy last week, of course, but glad I got a chance to see this one. It moves a little bit faster than the original. It's cute. Just a lot of the stuff is cute. What they do. Her friends, Emma's friends, are great. A great addition to the film, especially when you think about the bond that Martin and his wife had with their friends. It really and a lot of the friends start to come up in the film. You see why they wanted this to be a true homage film to Night Watch. It's just a little too late. So, all right, I went over on that one. My bad. But I figured I'd give that love to Shutter AMC Plus, even though we only gave it a 2.5 out of 5 stars. So, not too much better than the other two films. But for sure, giving it the homage that we felt like it wanted to the original Night Watch. All right, we're gonna pop out, come back, get ready to wrap up the show, talk about what to expect on the next episode. We also are going to be giving a little quick indie film shout out and a preview of a big old action film that we know everybody's going to be interested in seeing. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back. Submissions and Slashers episode number 61. We'll be wrapping it up here shortly. Okay, people, we are looking to wind down episode number 61. We appreciate you guys as always for tuning in or listening. Don't forget, like, comment, subscribe. Man, I'm telling you, I am working my ass off to build this platform, make it my own thing. We are going to make this thing into a TV show. I'm letting you guys know. So all my PR people, as always, I love you guys. But I'm working on something, man. It's coming. All right. So we are talking about indie film shout outs from below the grave, because of course that is the pride of Horror Movies Uncut, which is always giving a voice to the independent films. There is a little LGBTQ plus film that is coming out called Birder. It's going to be premiering at a bunch of festivals. It is also going to be getting a release date of my son's birthday, which is June 25th. And it is a little kind of erotic thriller about a young gentleman by the name of Christian Brooks, played by Michael Emery, who likes to cause a lot of problems on a little nude queer campground that he's at. And it seems like he's able to kind of, I would say, Will Smith, 7 degrees of separation, can kind of camouflage or chameleon his way into any type of situation to get what he wants, which happens to be a lot of sex from what I see in the trailer. We posted something about it on Horror Movies Uncut. If you guys head over to the website, you can watch the full trailer on that right now. And we will probably have a clip or something about it from the homies over at Prodigy sending it our way before the film is released on the 25th of June. So be on the lookout for more on Birder. Clearly, the film everyone will be flocking to see, Miss Anya Taylor-Joy, Furiosa, a Mad Max saga. It's going to be coming out in theaters next Friday. You'll be hearing a lot of noise from the George Miller film probably by Wednesday, as we get a lot of those free pre-screenings coming out. There's already been a couple screenings in certain areas, good reviews so far. We are not surprised. It is going to be a lot of action, a lot of explosion, a lot of slave releasing, and a lot of ass kicking on screen. This will be everything we want out of a big budget action summertime movie. Chris Hemsworth's also in there, looks to be playing a very significant part of the destruction and mayhem. And since, of course, this plays into the Mad Max world, you know that there's going to be a lot of buzz and talk around it. So I am more than assured that box office wise, this is going to do great. Once it hits international all across the globe, it will continue to do well, leading all the way till the end of the summer. What this will do for the franchise, I am not exactly sure. Definitely need to hop in the fandom and look into the Mad Max world and see what is planned after this. No time better than the present. Let's see. So I guess we would have to look at the Fury Road. Let's see. So yeah, they did that black and white one. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do some. Okay, so wait a minute. We got the prequel, yeah. They're saying that there's possibly 2 sequels to. Yeah, I'll have to do a little bit more digging, but it looks like there's possibly 2 sequels to this. Seems like there's a big theme with chapters and sequels on this episode, which makes 100% sense when you look at it being a complete review episode on episode number 61 of the Submissions and Slashers podcast. But yeah, that is the big budget action film to see, folks. That is everything we really need to talk about on this episode. Next week, we are gonna be coming back and talking about the review for that film. Also, hopefully we'll have a review for A Violent Nature as well. So yeah, Furiosa, A Violent Nature. We'll bring back Weird News of last week. We'll also have another indie film shout out from Below the Grave. What the hell is streaming next week? Please, people, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Make sure to find us on YouTube or Spotify, Submissions and Slashers, at HMUNCUT. That is the social media. That's where you'll find us on that. As always, we appreciate you. See you on the next episode. We're out.